Good morning, everybody. It's Javier. As always, we're going to start by muting everybody, so don't worry about your background noise. But by all means, unmute yourself. If you have any questions, comments, any concerns, anything whatsoever, make sure that, again, if you go ahead and unmute yourself, you mute yourself once you're done with the questions so we can move this along pretty quickly. It's going to be a shorter type of training, but it's two important things I want to cover with you. So without any further ado, now that everybody's in here, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, before I actually go into the I'm sorry, before I go, let me just pull this up real quick. Before I go, here we go. The first thing I do want to share with everybody is let you know that, not to brag, but just to let you know that I just came back from Cabo. I was down in Cabo San Lucas the last couple of days, actually the last week, to be more precise. And it was, believe it or not, I'm going to call it work, but it was some work in regards to getting stuff done from there. Now with all of us working remotely, it's easier than ever before. Now, can anybody, Alan, can you see the Sunset Beach on the screen? Is that what you see right now?
Yes.
Okay. The reason that I'm sharing this with you is because this is our 6th month of a project we've been working on to help people. For those that like to travel, how to do that. One of the things that we're going to be doing this year, later on in a couple of months, is we're going to be launching this is just me sharing personal stuff with you. We're going to be launching our official blog as it relates to how to travel on a budget, how to do it in a smart way, if you're into that. So keep an eye out for that. And also, this is our 7th month now of talking about Sunset Beach, Pueblo Bonito, which is what you see here on the screen. For those of you that don't know, back in October, I sent out an email, conducted a few webinars, letting people know how it was that we were going to be going to Cabo quite a bit. We actually have now 8 weeks out of the year that we are in Cabo, and it's a beautiful place. It's an expensive place, which, as you can see here, I'm just going to give you an example of what we're talking about. And what I'm going to put in is just a Monday to Monday. So let's just say this coming Monday Monday to Monday, because you get a week, which are 7 nights, which is really, really cool. And so as you can see here, I'm going from Monday to the 20th to the 2nd of May. I'm sorry. Let me go back up a little bit. This is in April. Let me just back up. And I just want to show you what I'm talking about here. So let's just say the 14th, and we'll just call it March. Yeah, let's just see the 21st. And you'll see where I'm going with this right here. I'm going to click on this, and I just want to show you what I'm talking about here of what kind of prices this place has, because it's incredible. Let me just, maybe I'm not going to show it to you. Oh, yeah, you're just looking for it right now. You know what? It's probably not going to be available. No, it's too short notice. Whatever. Okay. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Sorry. Nope. Let me just go back into April. I don't know. I just want to choose something random here. Let's just say the 18th to the 25th. I don't know if that will work right there. And so what I wanted to show you, let me back up. What I wanted to show you was just a price. Well, anyways, you can go see this for yourself. It averages $400 to $700 a night. It's a beautiful, beautiful resort. Let me just go into May. One last shot, May the 2nd. And I'll just set the 9th. And let me just see this. All right, so I just clicked on that. Let's see if this works. If not, no big deal. But the point that I'm making is that, here, like for example, they have what's called the Junior Suite, which is basically a studio, which is really, really nice, which is actually where I stayed this time, and I'll explain why. If you go to Facebook, you'll see some of the stuff I posted from there. Actually, the tour of the room, you have everything you need. It's just an incredible. It has refrigerator, stove, just everything you need. This one's $48 a night. Then you go to the next one up, which is $579 a night, and then the super executive one, which actually has a jacuzzi out there, is $661, and that's a night. But what's really cool about this is that the deal that I was able to work out with them, we consider us owners. And the reason that that's an important issue is because, unlike if you book it through the website, you're just a guest. And when you're a guest, of course, it's not tax deductible because you're considered an owner. You can actually write off the entire cost of your stay there and the expenses that go with it as well, because it's considered, for you doing a site survey basically of your property, because they also rent it out. So I'll get into it. I just wanted to let you know that I haven't forgotten about all the people that texted solar to that number that we have, and I'm not going to get into it because we're not accepting any more people right now. But I'll give you more details as it relates to that. We just went there. We paid a whopping for the whole week of a whopping and we only stayed 5 nights because I had to come back and do a few things that in person with the grandkids. But otherwise, we had some 7 nights, and the total was $500, which is simply incredible as it relates to that. So, anyways, I'll talk to you about that later on. Today, now before I go any further, once again, Alan, can you see the PowerPoint on the screen?
Not yet.
Okay, thank you. I want to make sure you understand. Okay, so let me just go and make sure you can see it. How about now?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about 2 things and 2 things only. We're going to talk about a new custom flyer. I want to thank everybody that posted their flyer from last time. A lot of you, some of you did it, a lot of you did not. That's okay. It's just one of those things that some will, most won't, and that's okay. My encouragement to you is that if you're not making the kind of income you want to make, get on the ball and do the things that people that are making money are doing. Otherwise, you're going to continue to just simply not achieve the success you seek. Also, we're going to talk about a common or ebook you're going to get. It's going to be free. It's called The Common Denominator of Success. I don't know what you're into, but what I love to do, and part of the reason I like to get away, I like to think, I like to reflect, and I love to read. And this is a book that I've had for many, 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 many years that has helped me boil down what it is I need to do, when I need to do it. And it could do the same thing for you if you internalize it, especially if you just internalize a simple part of the book. It's a very simple ebook. I'll give it to you for free. And I hope you read it. I hope you read it. The beauty about it is that we do live in America. We're land of the free. We're free to succeed. We're free to fail. And that's okay. I'll just give it to you with the intention of helping you position yourself to have a better tomorrow. And I'll talk about that in just 1 second. So without any further ado, let's get into it. First things first. Again, for those that weren't here, I'm going to send a text message with the date that we're going to have an overview of the Cabo opportunity. And it's not Cabo, as a matter of fact. This is what you'll receive. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a book. It's got about 62 countries, give or take, that you can stay. I just keep mentioning Cabo because I love Cabo because of the fact that it's just in the same general time zone. It's literally an hour and 45-minute flight from LAX. It's just an incredible experience. It takes me longer to drive home. I live in Ontario. It takes me longer to drive to Ontario from LAX than it does to fly all the way to LAX from Cabo. It's just incredible. And so it's a great thing. Like I told you, we were there. We paid $500 was our fee to stay there for the entire week. It was up to 7 nights. We only chose 5. But next time and moving forward, it's going to be all 7 nights. But it was for $500. People keep asking me, how much did we spend? I did not do the all-inclusive package this time because we like to explore. And we went out to a couple of cities in Baja called, one of them was La Paz, which is a big fishing city. We also went to a place called Todos Santos, which is a small picturesque town. And we spent probably around $200 total on food for the entire week. Probably the best meal we had was in this little mercadito, kind of off the beaten path. Home cooked meal like you wouldn't believe. I mean, just an incredible thing. And it was a whopping $13 for the both of us, including the drinks that we had, blah, 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 blah. So the point of it is that a lot of people think it takes a lot of money, and it could. I mean, you saw the price of this resort. If we were to stay there, it would have been $2,400 for the nights that we stayed. And if we would have gotten the all-inclusive package, that would have been another $260 a day for both of us, times 5. You can do the math right there. It's $1,000. So, we did a $4,000 or $5,000 vacation for literally $700. And then the flights down there cost me $50 because they used miles on Alaska. And so, again, money it's not an issue if you know how to do things. And so that's what we're going to share with you. If you want to do that, I also want to thank everybody. I want to congratulate Mr. Michael Hatter for an excellent payday this coming week. I'm not at liberty to discuss the amount, but I can tell you it's what most people in California earn in a couple of months. Here you have the power of FFS to earn it in one single payday. Congratulations to him. And I want to congratulate everybody that's out there doing what needs to be done. I just delivered my first policy is from e-delivery. I usually deliver it in person because I like to give them their actual policy printout. This time I just went all electronic because I wasn't in town. And again, just the ability to do your business and run your business from anywhere on earth is incredible. things continue to get better on the technology front as well. There's never been a more awareness of the importance of life insurance, which is what I'm going to talk to you in just 1 second with the flyer that you need to create. The awareness and just everybody. A lot of us, or I should say some people I already spoke to, are actually starting to slowly but surely pack for the upcoming trip with FFS. We call it the dream destination because it's just that. This is the kind of destination that most people only dream about. And what is it, Alan? In 4 weeks, 3 weeks? I'm not even sure how long it is. I think it's in a couple. I know
coming down. Yes.
How many?
About 4 weeks.
Okay. So, excuse me, give or take about 4 weeks from now, we're going to depart for Europe. And you got people, Maria and Alan, who are doing what a lot of people are doing. They're going to extend their stay there, and they're going to visit some of the cities that most people, again, only dream about. That's what's called Dream Destination. We're going to go ahead and let me just take this out for 1 second. We're going to go ahead and start in Barcelona. We're going to arrive a few days early. I know a lot of other people that are arriving early as well. Then we get on the ship, which is an incredible mega yacht, basically, that's going to take us to, I don't even know, Croatia and France and Monte Carlo. And then we're going to be going to Rome. And then we're going to eventually end up in Venice. And then you got people like Alan that are saying, hey, I'm here. Might as well go all out. He's going, I believe, is it still a train, Alan, that you're taking? I think he's taking a train to, well, I don't want to say anything wrong, but Alan, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, we're planning on going to Switzerland and then jumping to Paris for my birthday and then ending up in London.
Wow. I mean, that is literally a true dream destination. And so I encourage everybody to, fight throughout the year. People look at it now and say, man, these guys are so lucky or this and that. No, these guys are working hard. These guys and gals are working really hard year round. And so I'm very proud of them. And to think that people are doing that is just incredible. Most people do dream of that, going through all the cities I just mentioned. And then on top of that, you get to go to Switzerland. And of course, on top of that, you're going to go to Paris. And on top of that, London. And then FFS will fly him home from there, which is an incredible dream trip as well. And so congratulations to everybody. Everybody's making the final preparations. And of course, there's not a whole lot to bring just because of the simple fact that everything's provided by FFS. And so I thank FFS for everything that they are rewarding our people with, because I think it's well-deserved. And at the same time, it really does relax you and all the good stuff with it. What I would like to do at this time is turn it over to see if there's any good news, anything to share from you production-wise or anything that events. How did your event at the church go, Alan? I want to start with you, and then everybody just get ready to chime in, please. Alan?
Yeah, we had a good time last Sunday. Stephen Bryan was able to accompany me. We had a good time. We picked up, I think, about a dozen appointments, which we are already running and submitting. And additionally, we were able to pick up, I think, 3 or 4 real estate leads for Bryan as well. So it was very successful. And another note, I just want to let you know that my client that had passed away, I met with the family this last week, and the process to submit the claim for the death benefit for the family could not have been, any simpler. Basically, a 1-page form at the death benefit. We submitted everything, so now we're waiting to hear back from National Life. But it was very, very easy, very simple. The family really appreciated that. So looking forward to receiving that money. As a result of that, the pastor called me, and he wants me to go back to the church and do another presentation to all the new members. Because they've had such a, I've been there for the family this whole time, and it was a positive experience on that end. So they now want to make sure that everyone at their church is covered by one of our products.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And congratulations on that. I think, like I always say, that what we do matters and what you do matters here. So thank you so much for that, Alan. Information and update. Anybody else? Anything, events you had this week? Any meetings? Anything at all you want to talk about, or any people on your team you want to recognize? Anyone? Anybody? Something must have happened because the app count is good. So I just want to give you guys the time. Anybody? Anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, Javier, I want to give props to Stephen Bryan, one of my agents, for being brave enough to go with me this past Sunday to the church presentation. It was an all Spanish church, all Spanish presentation, and And Stephen, obviously, Spanish is not his forte, but he was a good trooper and had a good time. And again, as a result, came back with some appointments, both for the financial services and for the real estate loans. So I want to give a shout out to him.
Perfect. And one of the things I will tell you is don't be afraid to partner up with people in key strategic areas. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I love doing that. I don't care, like you said, Steven's on the mortgage side, Alan's on the life side. He can bring him in, and not only is he going to help him, learn how to diversify his sources of income, but at the same time, let him generate some business for himself. But in the process, I'm not saying that Steven did it this time, but in the process, if there's ever an expense, a cost for an investment, you can split it as well. I know there's a big event going down. I'll talk to you about it later, Alan, unrelated to FFS. That's on the it's going to be down in Chula Vista, and they're going to be having a group of people. I always say that I've never met a microphone I don't like. If somebody gives me the microphone for 30 seconds, for me, it's well worth it, because it'll be more potential business that I had before I picked up the mic. And so, anyways, don't be afraid to partner up with, whether it be real estate. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot of value you can bring to the table, especially if you're not afraid to put a little bit of money to make the event possible. But in the process, you're getting some stage time or whatever the case might be. But don't be afraid to do that. Anybody else? Nothing going on? No one has anything else going on? Nobody in your team do anything worthwhile, or at least worth mentioning? Come on, it's got to be something going on. Anybody? Like I said, our app count is really good. So there is more stuff going on. I know there is. I'm just trying to get you guys to share it. I'm not going to be here stealing your thunder. Anybody? All right. Well, if not, I'm not going to make this any longer. My recommendation is get in the habit of, recognizing your people, especially for the small things. I think at the end of the day, it's the little things, the recognition for the small stuff that ends up meaning the most and giving us the most, because people are getting killed in business because they're failing to do the little stuff. So when somebody does a little thing, like Alan was saying, show up to a presentation for the first time, don't be afraid to mention it. Recognize the person. At least just share with us, because at the end of the day, people care a lot more when they feel appreciated. So anyways, nobody has anything else. Let's just move on. I'm not going to go ahead and force you to do that, but let's continue with what I was talking about. So we're going to talk about the two things: the flyer, the common denominator, which in my opinion is super important. Now I'm going to start with the common denominator. This is a book that is very, very simple to read, very easy to read. The Common Denominator of Success by Albert Gray. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to share it with you. Let me start by pulling up the actual link to be able to share it with you. And so if you're watching the recording, I do have it, or it's going to be in the actual description section. So let me start by chatting this so I can get this over to you. Please, as always, don't call me, don't text me, don't email me asking for the link. I'm not going to give it to you. Here it is now. Open it, come back to the webinar, or wait till the webinar is up on YouTube, and you can grab it there. So what I'm going to do now at this point is go ahead and share the actual screen. I'm not going to read the book to you, but I'm going to just give you the most important part of it. It's called the Common Denominator of Success. And here's something that I agree with a lot. And here's where the book begins. And this is what I'm going to read to you. There's a great intro by Bob Proctor. If you don't know who he is, well, you don't, you should. But it says here, several years ago, I was brought face to face with the very disturbing realization that I was trying to supervise and direct the efforts of a large number of people who were trying to achieve success without knowing myself what the secret of success really was. And that, naturally, brought me face to face with the further realization that regardless of what other knowledge I might have brought to my job, I was definitely lacking in the most important knowledge of all. Of course, like most of us, I had been brought up on the popular belief that the secret of success is hard work, but I had seen so many people work hard without succeeding, and so many people succeed without working hard, that I had to become convinced that hard work was not the real secret, even though in most cases, it might be one of the requirements. And so I set out on a voyage of discovery, which carried me through biographies and autobiographies and all sorts of dissertations on success that in the lives of successful people, until I finally reached the point at which I realized that the secret I was trying to discover lay not only in what people did, but also in what people made them do it. I realized further that the secret for which I was searching must not only apply to every definition of success, but since it must apply to everyone to whom it was offered, it must also apply to everyone who had ever been successful. In short, I was looking for the common denominator of success. And because that is exactly what I was looking for, that is exactly what I found. And so anyways, I'm not going to read the rest to you, but I will give you what he found. And here it is. The common denominator of success, the secret of success of every person who has ever been successful, lies in the fact that they formed the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. Now, you're going to have to read this for yourself, because one thing is when somebody reads it to you, and another one is when you read it yourself. Now, most of you will never read this book. I get it, but I'm really directing this at the 2 to 3 of you out there that are going to take the time to read it. And the more you read it, the more you will internalize it. I see people that bounce around from company to company, opportunity to opportunity, industry to industry, working hard, and they work hard like dogs. But like I said, until you do the key things, until you internalize the common denominator, unfortunately for a lot of people, it just doesn't happen for them. And what I always emphasize, and I'm not saying anything negative about anybody, been there, done that. Because let me tell you, the hardest I ever worked in my life when I was a janitor, I can tell you that I worked hard in the police department. I worked hard when I was in the Marine Corps. I never worked harder in my life, physically harder, more hours than when I was a janitor. And I never made less money than when I was a janitor. And so when people say hard work hard, I think you're crazy. Because I can tell you right now that knowing what I know now, if I was to start all over again, I would have gone at it in a completely different way. This week was a very productive week for me, a very successful week on the business side of the house, but I was in Cabo. I mean, that's just the way it is. And the hardest I worked in Cabo was driving, because we explored Baja quite a bit. I put, literally a couple 100 miles on the car, on the rental car, but no, I can't say that it was physically hard work, but again, it was critical work. And that's what I'm saying, that I'm just simply trying to get you to understand and internalize that, yes, of course, you have to work, especially in the beginning, but it doesn't have to be a way of life. And so what I'm getting at is that when you understand that in our business, let me ask you guys a question to make sure everybody's still awake. What is our business? When we say they formed that habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. Well, let's break it down to FFS, First Financial Security. What are those things that must be done that most people don't like to do? Anybody? What is it?
Prospect.
Okay, let's just start with prospecting. Now, you don't have to. Remember, I'm not your boss. I'm your coach. I want to help you. But how many names of potential clients did you pick up this week? I mean, don't say it. I mean, how do you prospect? Well, Alan went to a church. I love group presentations. One of the things that our team has cracked the code on is understanding the power of group presentations, because he can I don't know how many people were there. How many people were there, Alan, if you don't mind me asking, at the church? Now, I don't know how many people were there.
It was a small church, about 30 people.
Okay, call it 30 people. Now, if you gave me the choice of approaching and contacting 30 people individually to let them know of what it is I can do to help them secure the financial future, I would, first of all, that would take a lot of time, people individually. And it does. Most people don't approach and contact 30 people individually in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months, let alone in 1 hour, whatever it might have taken him. But what's nice about groups, of course, is that he got maybes, meaning the appointment cards got filled out by 12, so he never had to feel the sting of the nose. We have this very sensitive emotional system as human beings. I don't know why, that when somebody says boo, oh my God, we get spooked. When somebody says no, we get hurt, or we get scared, or I don't know. That doesn't matter. But the point of it, and I'm telling you, because I've done it my entire life, I still don't like it when somebody tells me no. But that's the way it is. And so unless you did like he did, 30 prospects out of the 30, 12 made an appointment. I guarantee you he's good, but I guarantee you he's not that good where he's going to submit 12 applications from every single appointment. Some are not going to keep the appointment. Some are not going to have the money. Some are not going to have the health, whatever. But eventually enough will. And if you do that often enough, then of course that gets you not just the income you want, but the trips and everything else that comes with it. So I think it starts with prospecting. Our biz, somebody just typed in follow-up. That's also very important. I'm probably more guilty of that than anybody else. That I have a ton of prospects. Sometimes I don't follow up with everybody, and that's just as bad. So of course, the follow-up is very important. The follow-up, you said the money, the fortune is in the follow-up. Of course, that's true. But if we go back one step, we can't prospect. We can't follow up with people we haven't prospected. For most of us, how many illustrations that you run? Let me ask you a simple question. How many illustrations for somebody that's serious about achieving success? Because everybody wants it. Everybody needs it. Everybody would say it would be nice to win a trip or whatever. But if I was to ask you a question, for somebody that's serious about this, how many illustrations should you be running a week to achieve the level of success that most people would consider good in FFS or in any business, but in FFS? How many? So what I'm saying is that if Alan has 12 appointments, he's probably not going to run 12 illustrations. Now, he might run 12 illustrations because he might see 6 of the 12, and those 6 might be husband and wife or kids. So he might do 12 illustrations. But the point that I'm making is, out of the 12 illustrations, not everyone will be an app, but I guarantee you enough will, so that it becomes a productive week. How many illustrations do you think we should be running a week as agents with FFS? Anybody? Done?
Javier, it's Kathy.
Go ahead.
Well, I've had to adjust my numbers because online the closing ratio I feel like is a little bit lower. So if it was in person, I would say probably about 12 to 15. But if you're just doing virtual appointments where you haven't met with the people before and they don't know you, I think about 20.
Okay, I'm with you. In regards to that. Anybody else? What do you think? And I'm thinking I'm 100% with you, because when we do it virtually, we lose the power of human touch, of seeing each other face to face, of expressions, of a firm handshake, good energy, or sometimes bad energy or whatever. So I'm with you 100%. What else? I mean, what would you say is your number? And there's no wrong number, by the way, as long as you're happy with what that can get you. So what do you think is a good number? 12, she says, a week? How many illustrations? Now, anybody else, please. I want to make sure I'm not talking to myself, please.
Javier, if you're talking about part-timers, you can't expect them to be doing 12 appointments. Even if you could just get them to do one appointment every day, it's like they go to work 9 to 5, whatever, and then they set an appointment that night and see somebody and do that, 5 days a week, and maybe a little bit on the weekend. But if they could do 5 a week, that they got to end up with 1 or 2 sales a week. So 5. Okay. So you're saying 5 a week for a part-timer? Okay. I'm with you. I used to do my 5 in a week while I was working. When I was a police officer, I used to run mines on the hood of a police car. So it can be done when you really want to do something. So 5 a week. Okay, cool. 1 a day, 5 a week. Over there, we have around 12 to 15 a week if you're going to be doing this in a more serious manner. But the point that I'm asking you is that then we step back and see how many we did run. So why do you think most people that say 5 had a 0? Or why most people that say 12 had maybe 2? I mean, why is that? And I'm not beating up on anybody. I hope, if you're offended, just disconnect. It's not that hard. I'm not trying to do that. But like I said, I'm trying to bring out the best in all of us, because we're all falling to the same boat. Why is that, though, is what I'm getting at. Remember what the book says. They formed the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. Why?
I think most people, they're afraid of rejection. And I've kind of been studying this a little bit, especially so men are conditioned on rejection from the time they're very young. But for women, it's a little bit more difficult because we don't come across rejection a lot as we're growing up. But I think for the most part, for both genders, it's rejection. And then you feel bad about yourself and you start questioning your own skills. And
what does that tell you, Kathy? And I'm not picking on you, but I appreciate it, because you're right. What does that tell you that when we recruit somebody, we should be working on primarily to start off with? What does that tell you?
Well, I think we need to work on their confidence. I mean,
Okay.
that's what I've ran into with agents that I've worked with is they do great. I mean, George talks about this all the time. They do great with when we go through the practices and the training, but then when they sit in front of somebody, like it's a totally different person we're watching.
Okay. And what I'm saying is that when I recruit somebody, and I don't recruit a ton of people, just so you know, but I do recruit enough, and I'm very blessed to have a lot of key people on my team. But when I do go on my recruiting run, the first thing I do before I show them how to run an illustration, I throw them to the lines. I take them to the police stations. I take them to different places to put them in front of people. And very quickly, do I find out they don't have what it takes. It's just that simple. In their current state, they're going to have to work on themselves first, because I'm not going to spend my time. That's another thing I will tell you, as I'm getting a little older, I'm very stingy with my time because of the simple fact that unless you do, you're right, you can show them how to run the illustration, how to do an annuity, how to do this, how to do that. But after all that is said and done, and that takes a lot of time, and we can always make more money, but we can't make more time. And so I always find out immediately where they stand in this area of their business, because if they don't have that, then they are no good to themselves. They are no good to me. They are no good to anybody. And I say in their current state, because we can change our state. We can change it. And so look, if you don't like to talk to people, we had somebody who wanted to work at the police station. The first thing I did, I told him, hey, meet me tomorrow, 5 a.m. I'll pick you up. We're going down to the police station. And then starts to tell me, well, I have this thing with police stations. I'm like, well, what's the thing with police stations? I don't know. They're very intimidating to me. I mean, then how the hell are you going to help me with the police stations if you don't want to go in the damn police station? You want me to come out and give you the appointment once I'm done inside? I mean, either work on that or go work in schools. I mean, work on the challenges. And so what I'm getting at is that I'm not being demeaning to anybody, so don't take it the wrong way. But I say that because we need to find out what it is that it's holding us back. So when they say they form the habit of doing things that failures don't, doesn't mean that they are a failure at the personal level. It's just simply that they're not achieving the success that they seek. And so I need to know why. And so again, there's a lot of other reasons, but you're right. A lot of it has to do with the fear of rejection. I'm not going to say the name, but we had a person on the team that he wanted me to help him, and I was helping him. And everything that I told him he needed to do, he kept telling me the same thing. You don't understand. I'm just not a people person. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I believe you if you tell me you're not a people person, but who the hell is going to talk to your clients for you? Nobody. Who's going to prospect for you? Nobody. Who's going to do this for you? Nobody. Sure, so not me. And so I don't know what to tell you. And so what I'm getting at is that we have to analyze ourselves first and foremost and understand that what might be keeping us from doing what we need to do. So some of the things include fear of rejection. What's another reason do you think that people don't reach their potential, if you and their potential in regards to what they want to achieve, not what I think they should achieve? There's one thing that I'm looking for. Anybody? I covered it in another book I gave you. What are your thoughts? Anybody? Mindset? Absolutely. That could play a role, but mindset can be changed as well. What else? There's one thing. Well, I'm not going to waste more time, but what I'm getting at is that conformity is the ultimate form of defeat for most people. It's not failure itself, but we conform. We as human beings are hardwired to survive, not to thrive, not to succeed, meaning that for most people, they still have a safety net, whether it be their 9-to-5 job, they hate it, they can't stand their boss, their supervisor, but it pays the bills. And, we'll just try again next week type of thing. And so therefore, I'm not telling you that you need to quit your job. I'm just simply saying that you need to get yourself to the point that the discomfort of the job, or maybe you do hate your job. I know people that can't stand their damn jobs, but there they are. There they are. And so what I'm getting at is you're going to have to analyze yourself. Read this book, and I'll leave it at that because I don't want anybody to take anything on. I love everybody, and I want everybody to win, but I'm not stupid. I understand that not everybody will win, and that I know that until we get ourselves to where we should be, whether it be our mindset and many other things that play a role into this. And so that's why I'm saying that if you understand it, I'll give you an example. You can parachute, and I'm not bragging. I'm not saying that. It's just that I'm a little older now, but you can parachute me into any city, literally in this country, if not in the world, but I'd rather be in this country, parachute me into any industry. And I understand that what it takes to win in one industry, I can make it happen in a different industry, because it's not the industry, it's the people. It's all about people. And so whether talk about real estate, I can help you do that. I can with the mortgages, I can learn to do that. Life insurance team, I can do that. Solar, I can do that because I come to understand that I have to put myself and get myself in check, number one. Because I've always told myself, Javier, if you're not going to do this, let's not play footsie with it. Let's not, there's much better things to do on a Saturday morning. For me, I'd be at Norm's right now having my bigger, better breakfast, California style, and I'd be happy as can be. But I have to do this webinar because it's part of my success plan. The same, I was actually going to fly today from Cabo, but I told Marcella I would rather just come Friday because I like to be focused on my webinars because they mean a lot to me, because they do mean a lot to other people too. And so I leave you with this book. I leave you with the link. If you want to download it and read it, do so. If you don't want to, that's okay too. I still love you to death, but it's just that I want you to win so bad. You have no clue how much I want you to win. And everything else is secondary. They, again, successful, the common denominator is that they form the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. And so whatever industry you're in, whether it be mortgages, whether it be life insurance, whether it be whatever. And what I learned from studying just in our world, superstars, Danielas of the world, a George or a Kathy, who just spoke right now, or an Alan, what I've learned about them, because I observe, people ask me, what do I like to do? I like to think and I love to observe. And because when I observe, I learn. We've got some of these superstars that I'm telling you about on this webinar, and they're sitting there wondering, what the hell is this guy talking about? And the reason they're saying that is because they don't even have to think about it anymore. They do what they need to do, second nature to them. They don't have to pencil in, okay, tomorrow, wake up, watch a motivating video, and start getting pumped up so I can contact my 5 people for the day. And I'm not going to sit down until I come. They don't do that. Just get up, put on their pants, and do what needs to be done. Second nature. And that's where I want to get to. That's where we all should be striving to get to, where doing what needs to be done is just second nature. That's where we want to be. If you have to sit there and read something to get you going to do the things that need to be done, you're in trouble. I'm telling you right now, it's okay to do that as you get yourself in the habit of doing things, but not a way of life, a way of business. That's not a good business model to follow. Somebody quits on your team and now you feel bad, you're in trouble. Somebody in the company you heard went to another company and now you feel bad, you're in trouble. I don't care who comes and I certainly don't care who goes. I know why I'm here and I'm going to stay here. And that's just the way it is. Again, that's just what you have to, develop in your mindset so that you can go ahead and do. Jeremy says goals, strong why. That's all great, but the whys have most of the time always been there. It's spouse, it's a kid, it's your parents, it's something. It's always been there. And there's a lot of people that have it. It's how we connect the whole thing. But ultimately, if you want to summarize business, what are your chances of winning? I'll give you an example. I offer you and every single one of you the opportunity to schedule a one-on-one webinar with me and any of your prospects that you need recruited. And I'll go ahead and do the webinar as long as you schedule it on my Calendly. Everybody here has received the domain to my Calendly before. I'm not going to waste my time with it. Book it. Long if it's available, book it. And on that date and time, they get a text reminder. I get a text reminder. You get a text reminder. And we're done. Put me to work in that sense. But we all need to start to do our part. Anyways, enough of this one. I just want to continue on with the second part that I want to share with you. So hopefully you read the book and hopefully you read it again. And hopefully you internalize the message that it's delivering, because it's not even about hope. It's about science. That's why I'm saying you give me a business opportunity that I believe is solid, and I'll show you how to blow it up by doing what needs to be done. Anyways, the second part that I wanted to talk to you about, well, let me just go back over here 1 second. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send a second link to you, but please, I'm asking you to make sure you start the right way. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about in just 1 second, please. Let me just grab this is the team one. So go ahead and grab what I'm going to share with you right now. Oh, hold on 1 second, please. All right, what you're going to see now is going to be something that you can create. Let me just go ahead and send you the link. So please make sure you grab this link. If you don't want it, it's okay, but I just want to make sure you at least have it. Okay, you should have it. If anybody can open it, click on it and make sure it opens up, I'd really appreciate it. Can you let me know if it worked? It should open up. Did it?
Yes, it works.
Okay, cool, perfect. What you have is what you see here on the screen. And this is just another custom flyer that saves you a lot of time and a lot of money that I pay for them. I pay for this stuff, but I saw enough of you actually leverage it that I wanted to give you another one to hopefully you leverage it as well. And it's a Canva template. Now listen to me very, very carefully. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you start by doing what I'm going to share with you right now. And that is, you're going to go, can you see the Canva, Alan?
Yes.
Okay, you need to start, before you do anything, go to File, make a copy, it'll create a second copy, and then go to the upper right hand and just rename it whatever you want to, and that's how you're going to save this. Otherwise, if not, you're going to start messing with the template, and at the same time, everybody that makes a change on it on their own is going to change your template. It's not going to work. So don't do that. Now, what you see here, and I'm not going to get into it because we did it last week. Here's a skill that you need to be very proficient with. And if you can use Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, there's no reason. I don't create this for anybody like I used to, because we need to empower ourselves. Like I said before, all you do is this handsome ass guy right here. I'm going to click on him. I'm going to hit delete. It went away. And if I want to go ahead and change the picture, I'll just simply come to my, okay, somebody just messed with it. Okay. All right. Alan, get it again. Alan, you're the second time. That's it. We're going to block Alan. So anyways, what I'm doing is I'm just going to go over here, highlight it. It went away. Get a copy. You got to make the copy, Alan. It's on here. And so that's what I'm talking about. That's going to happen every single time you're doing that. And so whatever, you can just come in here and just choose, whatever. So I'm going to choose her. I'm just going to drag her to where the other one was. And if you see what I did, so you can just let her click and change the names. Is what I'm getting at. Very simple. Now, I'm telling you, become proficient in it, because you see on the right-hand side term life policies, maybe you don't want it to say that. Maybe you just want it to say best IUL in, don't use this in the industry. Okay, so somebody's listen to me, guys. Don't do this. Somebody just went in here and clicked on duplicate page. If you do that, it just started a second page. You don't want to do that. You want to go ahead. I'm deleting this page. Whoever did that, I just got rid of it. But make a copy. Make a copy. Make a copy. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell you this. Make a copy. Go back to File. Make a copy. That will open up your own. Save it as your own. Otherwise, everybody that moves it and customizes it with their information is going to mess with yours. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and hit download, and you're done. Any questions about this part right here? Anybody? Any thoughts? Any questions? Anything at all? Now, what do you do with these things? I'll give you an example of what you should do with these things. Let me go back over here. And what I'm going to do, let's see. I'm going to go ahead. Alan, can you see this? Facebook?
Yes.
Oh, great. I just got rid of it. Okay. Okay, so here you go. Okay, so here I am. I know, here it is. So like as you can see here, here's what I'm talking about. Alan Getter just went ahead and put it there. So that's what I'm talking about. You can go ahead and just introduce, reintroduce, not yourself, but what you do, what you can do for people, and so on and so on and so on. This is what I encourage all of you to do. I actually have I'm also going to click on this picture of Alan delivering a policy. I have several old policies that for whatever reason had to be rewrites. So I kept the original policy and I use it as a dummy when I take photos, because now with the digital deliveries, we don't get a nice folder like this. And so I'm going to go meet with my latest client and take a picture, and I bring my old policy, if not my own policy, because I have it as well, to use it. Always take a photo like you see right here, because that's going to help elevate your credibility, especially on social media and anything else that you might be doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to you. You can see if they have any questions from anybody about anything, please. Any thoughts, questions, anything at all before we wrap it up? Nobody. All right. Well, listen.
How do you make a copy again?
Go ahead.
How do you make a copy again on the Canva?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Hold on. Let me back up. Go back up. That's very important, because I'm telling you, I had last week 2 people ask me for the email to the link because somebody had screwed up their copy. I said they couldn't have screwed up your copy if you made a copy. They couldn't have done it. So that just tells me you didn't. So I'm not going to send it. So here, when I'm going to go back to Canva now, everybody, can you see Canva? First of all, can you see the flyer?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me back up. So I'm going to zoom in on my browser, upper left-hand corner. Let me just continue to move up. Hold on. On the upper left-hand corner, do you see where it says file? Anybody can see? Can anyone see file?
Yes.
I click on file. Then you go down to where it says make a copy. You see this?
Yep. You see
I'm gonna click on make a copy. It opens up a new browser or tab, and there's the flyer again. And now at the top, do you see where it says copy of team life insurance flyer template? Do you guys see that? You guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to type in, this is Stephanie, by the way, my daughter. So I'm just putting Stephanie. And then you can rename her whatever the hell you want. Hold on, I'm just going to rename it Stephanie. This is your internal note, so whatever you want to call it, Stephanie Flyer Template. There. Once I do that, I'm pretty much done. That's it. So then you can go ahead and work on whatever you want to do, however you want to work on, and so on and so on. And blah, blah, blah. Then when you're done with it, you're going to click on download. Click on download. And when you click on download, you're going to select either PNG, which is the best graphic when it's just an image, or you can choose JPEG. It's a smaller file. You can do JPEG. And then you just click on download. Click on download. And it's going to take a second when it process it. Then it's going to download into your download section, which for me, it's the one on the left-hand side. I'm going to click on that. And I don't know if you can see it, but here, let me just show it. So I just hit download. And then once I downloaded it, there it is in that format. Very simple, very powerful, because I'm telling you. Now, here's what I am asking and I'm begging you to do. Become proficient. Doesn't mean you got to be an expert. Become proficient in Canva. It's the wave of the future, at least for our team. Because a lot of the stuff that I'm contracting with individual, and I'll show you the marketplace where I buy my stuff in case you want to put a little money into it and have stuff customized, you can do that. You can customize it. But to not be well versed in Canva is like saying, I don't think I want to learn this Zoom thing. I don't think I'm into this whole virtual thing, or I'm not a techie. Listen to me. You might as well put up your out of business banner outside your front door because you're done. It's very, very important for you to know that there's no turning back what I'm sharing with you, because that's just the way things are going to be. Questions, comments, concerns. I hope nobody takes anything the wrong way. Are you guys okay? I hope nobody is. Everybody cool?
We're okay.
All right. I'm just saying, nowadays you got to be careful, man. I mean, we're not like the old generation, man. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it. I feel I'm getting old. That's all it is. But the point of it is that I really just want everybody to understand and appreciate the fact that we only have this much time. Oh, before I forget, I don't know if she's on it, but Daniela's event, I believe, is this Monday. Is it? I don't know.
Yes, it's this Monday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to promote it. So let me go ahead and pull this up and give you the link. If you missed it last time, she has a very good event coming up, and I'm going to send you the link right now as well. All right, so let's see. Open a copy link address. Here you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the registration link because it's something that I'm very passionate about, and that is healthy brain aging. I mean, you want to make sure you're there. So here's in the comments section. I just
Actually,
sent you the.
it is 2 weeks from now. It's not.
Oh,
on the
okay.
18th.
All right, it's in 2 weeks from now. I'm looking at March 14th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Monday. It's on
Monday.
Monday.
It is.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, she's here. Okay, it is this Monday. Okay, the 14th. Because like I've said a million times, the challenge that I've seen is, look, we're born here, we die here. That's just the way it is. When we grow up, we have usually not till 2022, whatever, college, military, whatever you're done with. Then you go into the real big bad world. You're out in the big bad world, and we stay there until our productive years are over. Now, I don't know when that happens and when it will happen. It's different for everybody. But at some people, it's due to any type of challenge regarding to the brain and so on. And so what I'm saying is that if you can learn anything that could potentially extend the productive years of your life, I would take it. Personally, I would take it. I would look into it. Doesn't mean you got to do it, but it's at least something that you can no longer ever go out there and cry, plead ignorance, if you would, that you didn't know. Because once the musical chairs, it's like musical chairs, once the music stops, where you're at some point in life, is where you will remain until you go. And so that's why I want to invite everybody to participate in Daniela's event this coming Monday. You guys get the link go through? Is that the right link, guys? Anybody check it? All right. I hope it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Check it out. Register for it. I think it's worth your while. It'll be worth your while. Last call for questions, comments, or concerns from anybody about anything. Anybody? All right. Well, like I said, if you are interested in the whole Cabo thing that I was telling you about, I'll let you know. Did anybody go to Topgolf? That's probably the most important question. I was dying because I was in Cabo Monday and the grand opening was Monday. Did anybody go to Topgolf in Ontario? All right, cool. So you'll find me there tomorrow if you're going to be there. I'm going to go check it out tomorrow, and I'll let you know how that goes. Also, just thank you for all that you do. Don't ever take anything I say the wrong way. It's just that I really want you to win so bad. You have no clue how badly I want you to win. But I see so many people just kind of sticking their toes in the water and saying, look, here, let me just push you in there and get it over with and enjoy the life you deserve. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.